have no idea if I'm live right now. I need to check and see if I'm live because I've never done this before, guys. Leave me alone. Are we live? Hello. Sorry, I need to check if I'm live. I got some insane stuff to share today if it turns out that I actually am live. So I'm on details here. View live control room. All right, I'm live. Hello. Oh my god. Okay, here I am. Thank you. Woo. All right. Yeah, so today I'm streaming with OBS. I've never done this before, and today I have a insane thing that I just discovered. I knew that I should have been recording. I should have been streaming while I was doing this, but because I knew I was gonna find something. But anyway, so I've been researching this woman here, the glucose goddess, who is a pretty popular proponent of the science. No, she's a pretty popular proponent of high fat diets. And she's specifically talking about how managing your glucose levels, like your glucose spikes, is one of the ways you can prevent and reverse chronic illness. So she talks a lot about how eating a savory breakfast, for example, eating eggs, eating wheat, and she's basically saying like eating a high fat breakfast, so like eggs, cheese, and meat and this kind of stuff is fine, and you actually should be doing this for breakfast. The reason why I've been looking into this is because it's important for me to just like research these popular health sources. She's has like over millions and millions and millions of views. She has a lot of funding behind her, and I could feel it, right? There's this weird energy I was getting where I was looking at the information, and I just had this weird feeling that it was funded by something. It's getting millions of views. I'll see if I can find her YouTube channel here. It's like extremely high production quality, like stuff that's clearly being pushed. Millions of views on these little podcasts and stuff, which is very rare for someone to kind of just break out in this way. Sharing the science of health and how to actually be healthy. All right. Yeah. This is my stream style, guys. I just have OBS in the back, and this is what I do. Yeah. Hello. Sorry, guys. I've never streamed on OBS like this, so just checking to see if everything's. Yeah, look. What privacy's unlisted? What's going on here? Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This should be live now. If you're watching the recording, excuse my minutes of rambling. I'm very excited because right now I'm going to be uncovering the pharmaceutical-based corruption in mainstream high-fat diets. So if you've been in the health industry, the health field for the last few years, you've probably heard of high-fat diets. So keto-based diets, basically the solution that is touted for all sorts of chronic health issues, weight gain, tiredness, skin problems. A lot of times the solution is always a high-fat diet. So this means you're recommended by doctors, by nutritionists, by scientific sources, because the science, the science is the science. Where we're going to talk about who funds the science today in this video that I literally just discovered. that is like, I'm literally exploding right now. The science is telling us that by managing your glucose levels, by not having too much sugar, and by eating mostly fats, so having salmon with your berries or having eggs with your oranges or whatever it is, so just eating a bunch of fats, this is how we be healthy, essentially. So just checking if I'm live again. Sorry guys, I'm doing this weird streaming setup that I am like, yeah, we should be live here. Not sure what's going on. Yeah, we're public. Yeah. I don't know if... Hello. Hello. So it looks like I'm live, right? Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, excuse my horrible noob stream setup right here. I've never done this before in this way. Looks like I'm live. Yeah, so we're going to be exposing some of the pharmaceutical-based corruption in modern science and health info. And it all starts with this one person here, the glucose goddess. So I was just explaining that the glucose goddess is someone who I was doing a little bit of digging about, because recently she's gained a lot of popularity. Here's her website here. This woman here, she's gained a lot of popularity for promoting health solutions, diet solutions that basically have you eating eggs and bacon in the morning, eggs and yogurt in the morning. What's good? Hey, welcome, man. I got some crazy stuff here today. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm doing well. Let me change my chat position here so I can actually see you. Sorry guys for the most ghetto live stream I've ever done. This is my first my first live stream in this style. So perhaps I should just leave it on the left over here. Yep. All right, so this woman here, the glucose goddess, she's been promoting basically eat high fats, just like most diet and nutritionists are promoting nowadays. The science nowadays is telling us to eat high fats, to eat your cheese, your dairy, your eggs, your nuts, your meats, your animal proteins. And this is touted as the canonical solution to chronic health issues. And when you're sick, you know, make sure you have... I can't believe that what I'm going to be sharing today. When you're sick, you know, you're gaining weight, you have skin problems, you're lethargic, you have brain fog, you're developing Alzheimer's, you know, arthritis, this kind of stuff. The solution always is have more eggs, have more protein, increase your fat, the sugar, get rid of the sugar. The sugar is what's causing all the issues. So I know that this isn't true, because I've been researching the medical medium information, which is the actual true health information on planet Earth that I've discussed in other videos and live streams, where basically he's saying, no, if you want to be healthy, you need to cleanse the toxins, the metals, and the viruses out of your body, like your liver, by eating cleansing foods such as celery juice, such as apples, bananas, wild blueberries, cilantro, spinach, arugula. So just lots of fresh fruits, lots of fresh vegetables, and keeping the fats low. Because what's causing most chronic illnesses is very actually common sense if you think about it, is toxins, industrial toxins in the body that's breathed in through the air, that's inherited from the birth process from your mom. It could be drank in your water, eaten in your food. So heavy metals, lead, arsenic, copper, this kind of stuff. And then also viruses like Epstein-Barr virus, herpes simplex 1 and 2, HPV, shingles, this kind of stuff. This creates a lot of waste in the body, and this is actually what causes virtually 90% of chronic illnesses on Earth. So your eczemas, like I struggled with, your digestive problems, your energy issues, tingles and numbness, pain, aches and pains, ADD, brain fog, can't focus, can't stay awake, can't sleep properly, insomnia, just basically all health issues right now, unless they're obviously caused by a physical injury to your body, like you cut your arm off in a chainsaw. Obviously, we know the cause of that. But most of the spooky illnesses, like random allergies or random skin problems, this is caused by one of three things, like I've spoken about in other videos: metals, viruses, and bad bacteria in your body. And the medical medium, who is channeling information from spirit, which is not corrupted by corporate interest, which is what we're going to be talking about today, he's saying that, yeah, so you got to cleanse the metals out of the body. You can use foods like wild blueberries, spirulina, barley grass juice powder, Atlantic sea dulse, cilantro. This kind of stuff can bind to the metals and get it out. And also things like celery juice, your apples, your bananas. So lots of fruits and vegetables, and certain teas as well. Like right now I'm drinking a nettle leaf tea with lemon balm, as well as some raw honey in there. Extremely healthy stuff. Literally kills viruses in your body, and it heals and reverses chronic illness, like I've done with my eczema that I had since I was 1 year old. Allergies, viruses, fights off flus, and all this kind of stuff. So recently I was scrolling on the Actualized forum, actualized.org forum, and I found someone posted this woman, the glucose goddess, and this woman here, she's been gaining a lot of traction, a lot of popularity in the recent months and year. I think the last couple years, maybe the last year. So look. So you have it here. She just kind of came out of nowhere, right? With this extremely clearly, like, funded, like it's clear this information is clearly like heavily funded because of, you know, the quad. Look, this is like a fucking $1 million sorry, this is like clearly it's like $1 million. God, excuse my ads. Listen to the audio. Look at the set. Look, this is like $1 million set. Where'd she get the $1 million from? Okay, so you guys are hearing this, right? Look. Okay. So I was getting some weird vibes. Okay, I was getting some weird vibes because I'm so knowledgeable with the medical medium information. She's basically recommending that glucose spikes is what causes all of your chronic illnesses. When you eat sugary foods like croissants, like cake, like this kind of stuff, it spikes your glucose, and then this is what makes you tired, this is what makes you sick, this is what gives you insulin resistance, this is what gives you diabetes, and this is what kind of ruins your health, basically, these glucose spikes from this sugar. So she's promoting this philosophy of diet called glucose management, managing your glucose. So I have had ChatGPT actually summarize it for me. Summarize glucose diet philosophy for me. So this is what I did first thing when I woke up this morning. So she says things like eating foods in a specific order can reduce glucose spikes. So she says in this chart here that, for example, if you have an arugula salad before you have a whole plate of spaghetti, then it will curve this glucose spike. So then, you know, so eating foods in certain order is what she's saying to manage these glucose levels, which allegedly are the cause of all your life, you know, your health problems. Prioritizing fiber-rich foods by slowing down digestion, including vinegar before meals. So she says to actually mix apple cider vinegar in your water before you eat because it helps to reduce glucose spikes. which if you know about medical medium information, you know that that is extremely toxic for your body. Vinegar in general should not be ingested internally because it can dehydrate and it dehydrates your organs, it dehydrates your body, and it can suck all of the water out of the cells, like in your liver, like it does with a pickle. For example, when you put a cucumber in a vat of vinegar, it dehydrates it. It sucks and squeezes all the water out of it and preserves it. So that's exactly what happens to your liver, right? So you can learn about this. Medical Medium has an article about vinegar. It preserves all the toxins and poisons in your body while dehydrating you. So it's something you don't want to be eating. It's very unhealthy for you, to make you unwell. So, but she's saying you should drink it before every meal, to, you know, manage your glucose spikes. You know, walk after your meals. All right, sure, and avoid sweet foods when you're on an empty stomach. But you will notice as we go deeper into here that the sweet foods that she talks about is almost never fruit. She's always talking about croissants or like cake, but she's not mentioning fruit. And she does in that video. She basically said the molecules that's in a fruit smoothie, okay, and it is the same as the molecules that's in a chocolate cake. And we're gonna talk about why she's saying this stuff. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. Please understand, we're talking about how the entire modern health paradigm is literally funded, and there's people like the Glucose Goddess who are pushing, either consciously, knowingly, or unknowingly, pushing pharmaceutical agenda-driven health information that literally keeps people sick, that pushes the agendas of meat, dairy, egg industries, and pharmaceutical industries, which we're gonna look at here. It required a bit of digging. I wish I had this recorded live when I discovered it, but it's just like, all right. So I was looking at her information. Anyways, not trying to defame her or say she's a bad person, or, you know, I don't know if she's doing this on purpose, or maybe she's trying her best, but she just doesn't know. But again, clearly she's got a lot of funding behind her because she has these like extremely high quality. So what's weird with the first thing, so there's a couple things that set me off. Just like I had this intuition that something was wrong here. Number one is she says she's a scientist, not a nutritionist or a doctor, which is fine. You know, I'm not a nutritionist or a doctor, and I share health information, so I don't have any problem with that. But I just had this weird taste in my mouth, like this weird feeling of like there's got to be some sort of agenda. Like, why is this person who is recommending to eat eggs and milk for breakfast to basically like heal your chronic illnesses? This can't happen. This never happens. People do not heal their chronic illnesses by eating eggs and milk for breakfast. Maybe if you were eating like donuts and cake and chips all day in McDonald's, and then you switch to a keto diet with more whole foods, even if they're very fatty foods, that can sometimes heal you a little bit. And, you know, you can notice improvements by eating, you know, switching to a keto diet, you know, having a fluffy feta pancake. So if you understand medical medium information, like I've spoken about in other videos, you need to understand eggs, dairy, and wheat, and just eating these high-fat foods, these will not heal your body in any way, shape, or form. They will feed viruses. They will clog your liver and your blood with fat, make cleansing virtually impossible. And they'll just add fuel to the fire of all the viruses in your body, and they will perpetuate your chronic illnesses. Okay? So stay with me, guys. I'm trying my best to explain this stuff. I'm doing my best here. Okay. So yeah, so it's just weird. Like I always get this weird thing like, why do we need to eat blue cheese? Why do we need to have eggs to be healthy. It's not a real thing. You don't need that stuff to be healthy. I've been, for me, for example, and studying the medical medium information, there's millions of people that are eating fresh fruits and vegetables all day, right? Celery juice, salads, herbal teas. There's no meat or cheese or any of this stuff anywhere in sight, and I'm not having glucose spikes. People actually don't have glucose spikes, and they don't develop insulin resistance when they eat mainly fruits and vegetables. But this is weird because like this hasn't been studied, and the medical medium talks about how when you clean your liver by having celery juice, lots of fresh fruits, lots of fresh veggies, etc., your liver is actually what manages your blood sugar along with your pancreas as well. So one of the big things that does cause glucose spikes is when you are eating high fat with high sugar at the same time. So for example, a croissant that has sugar mixed with egg, mixed with dairy, or a cake that has eggs, wheat, dairy, and a whole cup of white sugar all mixed in together, or when you're having barbecue sauce that's very sugary on your pork ribs, or when you're having ketchup, high sugar on your greasy hamburger, for example. This is what causes glucose spikes and insulin resistance, because the liver's job is to digest fat by producing bile. But when the liver becomes burdened and fat diets, when there's too much fat, too many toxins, there's too much viral activity in the liver can slow down. It can become overloaded with these high fat diets. And then it's not able to digest the fat properly that you're pounding it. And then it's also not able to fully absorb the glucose that you're eating. And then the glucose just kind of floats around in the bloodstream. And there's too much fat in the bloodstream because the adrenals, the liver are working to get the fat out of your bloodstream. But if your liver's you're always overloaded with fat or viruses or toxic metals or this kind of stuff, it can't do it properly. So the fat stays in your bloodstream. Therefore, the glucose stays in your bloodstream as well. So your pancreas has to produce insulin to then break down that glucose, and this can make you very tired, and it can wear down your pancreas. It wears down your adrenals, and it causes energy problems, and it makes you very sick, basically. So this is what Glucose Goddess is saying. She's saying, all these insulin spikes are making you sick, but she's not understanding that insulin spikes are absolutely not coming from people eating bananas and wild blueberries in their smoothie without any fat. They're absolutely not coming from people eating watermelon and cantaloupe for breakfast on an empty stomach after their celery juice, which is an amazing tool for managing glucose spikes and insulin resistance, because it cleans the liver, it restores the adrenals, and it helps to digest fats that are in the blood, and the sodium cluster salts support all these organs, etc. So having celery juice, having fresh fruits in your smoothie for breakfast, lots of fruits, having 10 bananas, this will absolutely not cause an insulin spike in someone who has a moderately healthy liver. So if you already have fatty liver, or you're already clogged with all these toxins, and you haven't done like a medical medium cleanse, for example, yeah, you might get a glucose spike or an insulin spike from eating all this fruit. But in most cases, you won't. You'd have to already have a compromised liver in order for that to happen. So that's the core cause of these glucose spikes. So, but for some reason, the solution that's being promoted here, which has been promoted in many, many different ways, shapes, and flavors over the last 40 years, it's just always the same info, but just a different blend. There's a different covering, a different wrapper a different name. It's keto, and then it's something else, and then before it's something else. High fat, carnivore. This idea that by just eating fat you're going to get healthy, it doesn't work. That's not how your health works. It's never worked like that. Human beings cannot heal from eating only fat. The only time where people report healing from eating only fat is when they are coming off of McDonald's and bagels and hamburgers and cake and muffins and this kind of stuff, croissants. So when you're coming off of the obviously processed foods and you're not eating having Coca-Cola and this kind of obviously extremely toxic stuff, and you move straight to a keto diet with whole foods like organic lean chicken, avocados, your whole nuts, maybe some leaves in there, some spinach, some arugula, maybe you're having some blueberries as well. Of course, that's going to help to make you feel a bit healthier because you're coming off of literally the garbage diet, right? But you may even heal a little bit. You may even see some reverse of your symptoms, which is good. But you got to understand the reason why you're healing is not because you're going into ketosis, which you're not doing, which I've spoken about before. You're not healing because you're eating high fat. You're not healing because sugar in general is bad for you and you should avoid all fruits and this kind of stuff, and vegetables and are bad for you. The same information, guys, we're going somewhere. Trust me, it's a big thing. We're going somewhere. The same information is being perpetuated for decades. Always some sort of high-fat solution to health issues. And they're always reskinned, they're always rebranded, they clearly have millions of dollars of funding behind them, which is why we have extremely high-quality sets and editing and all this stuff. I'm not saying that's evidence, but we're getting to the evidence. There's always a high-fat trend, a high-fat fad that is backed, that is funded by egg, meat, and dairy industries, that is funded by pharmaceutical industries who know that it's not going to make you healthy, it's going to keep you sick, because they make billions of dollars off of humans having chronic illnesses. And I've been reading about how the majority of funding that goes into virtually all health-related science studies, it's all funded by pharmaceutical companies. It's funded by certain food companies like meat companies, dairy companies, egg companies. So if science, think about, if the science is being funded, the science to make humans well, if it's being funded by the companies who profit off of humans being sick, do you see how that's a problem? A systemic structural problem? Where we have people like Glucose Goddess here who has science literally in her header. Like, what the fuck is this? Why do you have science? That doesn't even make sense. Okay, so science. Okay, so of course, it's always science. It's always eat high fat and here's the science. Look at all this science that I got. The science is showing you that if you just eat all this fat and you drink vinegar, and you have eggs and cheese for breakfast, talk about, don't worry about cleansing your liver of petrochemicals, heavy metals, viruses, any of this. Just pretend that doesn't exist. It's all because of your glucose. Your glucose is spiking. Look, fatigue. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Hormonal health, depression, and even risk of Alzheimer's disease. We
Hey guys, I'm just learning that.
Also now know that each additional glucose spike we experience.
I realized that my screen was muted. Hey Dragos, oh thanks. I'm glad this is helpful for you. Awesome. Yeah, so what I'm learning is that, and what I've discovered, so there's a fishy taste in my mouth because here we have her, and again, I'm not trying to defame this person, it's not a personal attack. I don't care about her. I think she's a good person. She might be the Buddha or, the Pope for all I care. She's a good person. I don't care about her. It's not a personal attack. We're talking about the truth of how the the human body actually works, and how to actually be healthy, and what I'm really angry about is doctored science, bot science, in, biased science is what I'm really angry about. Okay, so I was looking at her science. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to show you. She has this was the red flag here. This, and then we're using this person as a case study, not a personal attack. This is an example that demonstrates a broad pattern. This isn't just one example. This is one example, but this is a broad pattern that you're going to see. So let me try and find. She's got science here. There was something, I think it was in the about section, and then I was just doing research. I was literally sitting here eating my apples and my banana oatmeal cookies, not worrying about glucose spikes because that's not how the human body works. And I was researching, and I was looking at her science. She's like, you can find all of our science here, and then it's a link to for some reason to her supplement that she's selling. The anti-spike formula, how to prevent glucose spikes, the best supplement to support your glucose levels. So, spoiler alert, it's $80 a month to get these mailed to your door. And the supplement is basically, wait, where's her Discover Anti-Spikes? I want to go to her sales page. Here it is. Wow, how to be healthy. Take this pill. This one. Okay, guys, listen. Do you understand the history of human health has literally just been people trying to sell you pills to get better? Even though the actual solutions to your health are fruits and vegetable based, okay? They're not a pill. Of course, some supplements are good for you. Of course, there are some extracts and certain things, cat's claw extract, B12 extract, zinc sulfate extract. There are many supplements that can be very supportive for your health. But these are often commodities. They're not ones that are privatized. This is important to understand. You can't privatize zinc sulfate extract because it's just a thing that exists. Or you can't privatize rosemary extract because then you would just buy rosemary extract. It's a commodity, is what I'm trying to say. That means that it's mass produced. It's like celery. You can't privatize celery. It's a commodity. It just exists. It's like you can't profit off of it because if someone else can grow it. I can't privatize celery. I don't have a monopoly on celery. So the whole history of health information always is trying to basically convince you that you're sick, and the reason why you're sick is because of some issue. Okay, so there's some, your glucose spikes is the issue. This is classic sales 101. I've studied business, I've studied sales. This is how it works. You're sick, big problem, you're tired, can't get out of bed, you're sleepy, you hate your life, you're fat. Okay. The problem is because not my pill, the problem is glucose spikes. So this is what she's saying. This is not true, but this is just what she's saying. So there's some issue, right? So the problem, and then what's causing the problem? Glucose spikes, okay? And so, if you just stop your glucose from spiking, so look, this is the example here. So you eat cake, your glucose spikes, and then your insulin and then you develop insulin resistance, and it makes you sick and so forth. So you want to avoid this. This is what she's saying. It's not what I'm saying. This is bullshit. This is pharmaceutical-based studies that we're going to talk about, funded by AstraZeneca, but that's a spoiler alert, okay? It literally makes me want to grab my computer screen and throw it out the window. So yeah, look, you eat your cake, and then you get a glucose spike. But if you take my pill, that has mulberry leaf extract, lemon extract, artichokes, and cinnamon extract. No, she's not telling you to just like eat cinnamon and eat mulberry leaf tea and have lemons, lemon water, and have some artichokes and stuff. Instead of telling you about that, she's saying, no, you got to take it in my pill because it's easier. You just take it, then you can have cake. See, you take my pill, and then you have cake. And then your glucose doesn't spike. So this is like the perfect business model. You don't have to change your diet. You can be healthy. You can eat whatever the hell you want. You can have cake. All you got to do is just manage your glucose spikes. Make sure your glucose doesn't spike. And take this pill. That'll help to reduce it. And you can have as much cake as you want. Or you can have croissants. Or all you have to do is drink a shot of mix some apple cider vinegar into your water and drink that, which I already spoke about, destroys your liver and dehydrates you and is extremely toxic and ruins your bones and your teeth. So don't do that with apple cider vinegar. There's a medical medium article about it. But she's saying, yeah, just drink apple cider vinegar, then have your cake. Okay? So when you drink apple cider vinegar and then have your cake after, your glucose won't spike. Hey Lucas, yeah, thanks for coming. Your glucose won't spike, and then you can have as much cake as you want. And all you have to do is take this pill, which is scientifically proven to work, and it's only $80 a month. Oh, there's a sale. $80 a month to be healthy on this one pill. The anti-spike formula. She's a genius. Wow. Look, croissant. Look, if you eat a croissant, your glucose is going to spike. Yeah, but I already explained the reason why your glucose spikes is not because of the sugar, but because of the sugar mixed with the fat. When the croissant is made with eggs and dairy, which is fat, and then it's also a cup of sugar in there, that's what spikes the glucose and the insulin. So she's saying, but when you take my pill that's literally just lemon extract and there's like, it's actually not, if you want to look at the actual ingredients, which are disgusting. So there's a hydroxyl propyl methyl cellulose, which is a sorbent, clearly. There's copper complexes as well. Copper is very good. I heard medical medium said copper is really good to have and to take internally. So it's good to have copper inside you, I heard. There's also color as well, so that it looks good on the sales page, which is very, very important, important for health. There's iron oxide in there, okay, sure, which is the anti-caking agent. There's bamboo and silica. So these are the other ingredients. Of course, the medicinal ingredients here are mulberry leaf extract, lemon extract, and there's just like, guys, please understand, taking a purple carrot, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, asparagus, zucchini, cucumber, artichoke pill is not the same as eating purple carrots, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, asparagus, zucchini. It's a completely different thing. Okay, that's why doesn't she just recommend you just eat these foods? Okay, and of course there's magnesium stearate in there, which I heard is very good for you as well. I'm fucking around. This is pure sarcasm. Not good for you. So look, bagel. Take the pill. Bagel's good for you. Wow, that's genius. This is a good business model. I love this. I might start doing this. Maybe I shouldn't expose this because I could literally make millions off of this. This is honestly, guys. I'm gonna actually go start this business for myself. This is way more profitable than my coaching, because then you can just eat bagels and take the pill, and it's good. Make sure you have a really nice website too. Okay, guys, I'm gonna chill with the sarcasm a little bit. Okay, serious mode. Whew. So I was just doing some research, okay? I was looking into it. And I discovered something a little bit weird. All right? So yeah, look, it works on all carbs. So you can have your bread, keep having cake, have your pizza, have chocolate, have more french fries, and this is how you be healthy. Guys, you take the pill and you eat this and you'll be healthy. Now this is we're going a lot of detail into glucose goddess, but again, this is just one example of a trend that I'm trying to promote. Okay, that I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you a trend. Do you have symptoms of glucose spikes? Take the quiz to find out. This quiz is literally hilarious. So let's see if I have symptoms of glucose spikes. Ready? Start. Do you crave sugar, chocolate, sweet foods? Yeah, you... Okay, guys, listen. Your entire metabolism runs on sugar, okay? So your brain, your liver, all of your muscles, and your entire metabolism runs on sugar because we've evolved to eat fruits, okay? This is what we've evolved to eat. So you're actually supposed to crave sugar multiple times throughout the day, even between meals. You're actually craving sugar means you need fruit, okay? It means you're hungry and you want some fruit. That's all it means. It's not a bug. It's a feature of the human body. Okay, it's not a problem. It's not a symptom of being unhealthy to crave sugar. It's like, oh yeah, of course I crave sugar. People are gonna be like, oh wow, I need her pill because I crave sugar. Do you need something sweet at the end of your meals? Yeah, I always do. Everyone does. You eat fruit after your meal. It's not a big deal. You know, eat fruit. You need fruit. Your body needs fruit. That's why you crave sugar, because you're not getting enough glucose to fuel your brain and your liver and your other organs and your muscles. You run on sugar. That's why you like it. That's why it releases dopamine in the brain when you eat it. Not because it's bad, but because it's good. Of course, sugar from ketchup, which is just white sugar, or sugar from candy and lollipops, is not good. That hacks your that's not good for you. But sugar from apple is good for you because we evolved to eat it, because we're supposed to eat it, because it's good for you, because God loves you. God grew it off the tree for you so you can eat it because it's good for you. Okay, so you're supposed to crave sugar. All right, but again, do you feel tired after breakfast? You must need the pill. Do you feel tired after lunch? Do you always need coffee? So again, these are symptoms of actual chronic illnesses that actually require genuine cleansing protocols, such as something like celery juice, which is, again, not my business. I'm not profiting from celery juice, and neither is Medical Medium. He's just explaining how it works. The sodium cluster salts helps to cleanse and purge the liver, along with many other foods like wild blueberries, steamed potatoes, steamed zucchini, Brussels sprouts, etc. are very healthy, good for your liver. This is how you actually heal chronic illness, which is maybe why you're addicted to coffee and caffeine, because you don't have energy because your body's not working properly. Do you feel bloated after eating? Again, not a symptom of glucose spikes. This is a symptom of actual genuine chronic illness, and you actually need to do a genuine cleansing protocol. That's not just buying a pill and eating more eggs and cheese for breakfast. Are you hungry within less than 4 hours after breakfast? Come on. Everyone's hungry 4 hours after breakfast. After breakfast, I eat within the next hour. I have an apple. You're supposed to be hungry around every 90 minutes, and you're supposed to basically be eating fruit or leaves or something sweet and leafy or vegetable-y, like Brussels sprouts, potatoes, sweet potato, squash, this kind of stuff. You're supposed to be craving this every 2 hours. So obviously you're hungry after 4 hours of breakfast, so of course. Do you experience brain fog? Yeah, again, this is not because of insulin spikes. This is because your actual body's full of toxins, and your liver's on its last lifeline, needs to be cleansed. All right, so yeah, I prove my point here. The what's happening is pharmaceutical companies, again. So we haven't gotten to the part where we show that a lot of this is funded by pharmaceutical interest. But they profit off of you being sick. So if think about it like this. If I was evil, okay, and I wanted human beings to be sick, Not healthy. I actually want them to be sick. And I know this sounds conspiratorial, but again, it's not. There's books you can read, like Big Pharma by Jackie Law. She's a reporter, a journalist that worked in the pharmaceutical industry. You need to understand there is massive profit incentive for human beings to be very sick and to have a variety of chronic illness symptoms. That each symptom you can treat with $100 pill, basically, like she's basically trying to do here. This is how the whole medical system works. The whole scientific curriculum, this is how it works. In universities, this is how it works. Yeah, anti-spike. So if I was evil and I wanted humans to be sick, this is what I would do. I would invest millions and billions to make a really nice website. Super nice, official looking. Look, she's got science in her menu here. There's science in the menu, so that's how you know it's science. She's a scientist, obviously a paid scientist, but you know she's obviously you're not gonna look into any of that. Like, who funds this website? Where does she get all this money from? And anyways, just saying. Yeah. So yeah, you just eat pancakes and bagels, but take the pill, and you'll be healthy. Look, cake, pasta. Notice there is no mention of banana. You notice this? Where's the banana? Do I need to take the pill for my banana? What about apple? I thought glucose is not good for you and it causes spikes. What about apple and banana? Doesn't that cause spikes too? Well, no, because it's not sugar mixed with fat. Pancake causes spikes because it's wheat flour mixed with egg, mixed with sugar, and maple syrup. That's why it causes spikes, because I already explained how that works. So I can't just keep explaining it. So here she is looking very weak and sickly, and telling, sorry, you can tell her auric field is very gray, and sorry, I'm not supposed to say this, but she's not looking very healthy, and telling you the anti-spike formula, it's so nice. She marketed it so nice. It's so pretty. Stay safe out there. Be safe. Okay, very important. When someone tells you to be safe out there, buy my pill so that you can eat pancakes, like what's happening here? Like, what is this? How does this exist? There's like millions of people taking this, saying it's like, oh wow, it cured my viral fatigue, my post-viral fatigue. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, because of the anti-spike formula. My whole life has been utterly different. Totally and utterly life-changing. Wow. Energy levels are great. Sugar levels are great. Cravings no longer there. Amazing. That's good. Awesome. Wow. It works. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so just letting you know, it actually doesn't work. So I'm just letting you know, that's not how health works, and you don't immediately heal your health issues by taking some mulberry and lemon extract before you eat your pancakes, and then you all of a sudden you're healed, and all your brain fog and everything goes away. That's not how it works. Yeah. And it's not that hard to pay for reviews. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying they're all paid for. I don't have evidence, but I do have evidence of some other stuff, which we're going to talk about. So, I was curious to see what the science behind this whole thing is, and I believe I clicked on science here, and I think I clicked on, like, the first study. There was this scientific paper. Yeah, this is exactly what I did. So I was just doing my own research. I just wanted to see, like, something was fishy. I felt like I was going to find something. So I actually asked ChatGPT, which we're going to have to go into in a second. If you want to summarize everything I'm trying to say in this live stream, this is what I'm trying to say. ChatGPT kind of helped me. Worded it very well. So Do you think Glucose Goddess could be unwittingly exacerbating chronic health issues while claiming to heal them? And let's see. Do you think it's possible that Glucose Goddess is paid off by dairy and egg industries? This is just my I'm just curious. It's my intuition, and I'm trying to. Wait, my OBS is disconnecting. All right. We should still be live here. Yeah, here we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Especially in light of historical examples where food industries have funded or influenced nutritional science and public health messaging, the meat, dairy, and egg industries have a documented history of lobbying and funding research that aligns with their interest, which has shaped public health perceptions around protein, fat, and diet recommendations. For instance, studies funded by these industries often emphasize the health benefits of animal products, sometimes downplaying or omitting potential risks, especially concerning chronic health conditions. In case of Glucose Goddess, there isn't any publicly available evidence to suggest direct funding from these industries, which we're going to get into in a second, which I found with like one click. But it's certainly possible that the broader cultural narrative around protein and fat, which has been shaped over decades of lobbying, indirectly supports approaches like hers. So it's saying the general broad scientific and cultural medical narrative has been shaped by decades of lobbying, which indirectly supports approaches that are high fat like hers. By focusing on protein and fats for glucose stabilization, her method aligns with dietary advice that has been advocated for years by these industries, which might make her recommendations appear more compatible with industry-backed perspectives, even if inadvertently. So it's saying even if she's not intentionally funded by these industries, the general science of the last multiple decades is funded by these industries. So if she's relying on the general science in that sense, then she may be unwittingly promoting health and healing advice that's actually funded and supported by meat, dairy, and egg, and also pharma industries as well, which also have an interest in making humans sick. So meat, dairy, and eggs love selling their products, right? And because, humans don't actually need eggs, meat, and dairy to live. We can live very well off of the food that grows infinitely out of the floor, out of the ground. It grows. And like weeds, actually. I'm having this tea. It grows in my garden like a weed. I don't even have to try. The rain waters it, and it grows, and it's good for me. But you can't profit off that. So it's actually a lot easier to profit off sick humans that are convinced that eating cheese and eggs for breakfast every day, all day, and then there's also viruses that we have, certain flus that are released by pharmaceutical companies, and this is another topic for another video, but there are viruses raised in labs and then released to the public every year that are fed on eggs and dairy, and then that feed them in your body, make you sick, and make big pharma lots of money. Lots of money. Money. A growing number of nutritionists and diet influencers may genuinely believe, so got it. So that's what I'm saying. The general science is funded by big pharma. So like I said, I went on this scientific paper. So this is basically her first scientific paper that she links. Number 1. So this is a big, this is she's all about science, right? So this is number 1, okay? We click on it, and it brings us here. The Frontiers article. Wow, it looks very scientific. You know it's scientific because it's very convoluted and often difficult to understand. That's how you know it's not meant for the general public. The bigger the words, the weirder the words, make sure that the humans don't understand science. Otherwise, those with common sense may start to see that something's a little bit fishy here. So the big jargony words that you could understand, you just have to, try really hard. Okay, and then I actually skimmed by this whole thing because I specifically was looking for corporate interest. So it says here, conflict of interest statement. The authors declare that the research was conducted in the absence of any commercial or financial relationships that could be construed as a potential conflict of interest. So right when I read this, I was like, darn it, they got me, because I'm looking specifically for biasing factors, right? I want to basically find out that she's funded by pharmaceutical industries or by meat industries or whatever. That because I had the hunch, so I'm doing detective work. Okay, so I'm trying to find the data. So the funding, here it is. DT is funded by the EFSD mentorship program. Okay. So I said, okay, what is this? So I go copy paste. The Future Leaders Mentorship Program, okay? And then the first thing I saw, ready? Supported by an unrestricted educational grant from AstraZeneca. And then when I read this, I was like, what? AstraZeneca is a fucking pharmaceutical company. Funded the study about the first study that she recommended. How do I even what do I'm the glucose, this and that, and glucose lowering effects, but why is a pharmaceutical company funding it? Oh my god. All right, yeah, so AstraZeneca, thank you very much for funding the research that is done into the public health. I know that you guys all profit off of the public not being healthy. So I just wanted to let you guys know in this live stream here that the current modern conventional mainstream scientific health paradigm is riddled and infected and rotted with decades worth of corporate bias, corporate interest from pharmaceutical companies, from certain food companies. That is like the science itself is funded by pharma companies that have a profit incentive. Why are they funding studies? I'm just curious. Why would a billion-dollar company fund a study into human health? What if they funded a study that showed that, for example, drinking celery juice, lemon water, wild blueberries, and bananas, and eating lots of fruits and vegetables that grow out of the ground and are a commodity that can't be monetized by anyone, what if that actually makes you healthy and actually cures most disorders and most chronic health issues that medical medium talks about? Aches and pains, anxiety and depression, autoimmune disease, brain fog, cancer, Epstein-Barr virus, fatigue, mononucleosis, fibromyalgia. By the way, Medical Medium has an article on his website about every single one of these in detail, channeled from spirit, explaining specifically what causes all of these things and what protocols you can use to work on healing them if you do suffer from this. Hair thinning and loss, vertigo, hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, menopause, mystery weight gain, sleep disorders, tingles and numbness, etc. So what if we could heal that by eating artichokes? Whoops. What if we can just eat artichokes and heal that? Would AstraZeneca fund that study? The study into how artichokes that grow out of the floor actually heal thyroid better than their medication does? What about Pfizer? I was reading a book. I have it in my basement, but it's about big pharma. Pfizer's been around for decades. I am very confident. I know this is going into conspiracy land, and no, I don't have proof, but I'm just going to tell you the truth as spoken about by medical medium. COVID is a man-made virus, and this is not the first man-made virus to be released into the public. No, viruses don't randomly come off of bats. It doesn't come off of a bat and onto a human being. That doesn't happen. The virus, these kinds of viruses are they're released into the public by companies that tamper with them in private and test them and see how they can make viruses and how they can make them more lethal, more deadly, or less deadly, less lethal, but more symptoms, more resilient to cures and this kind of stuff. And then they release it into the public because, again, there's billions of dollars. The whole government is literally insanely corrupted by these interests as well. You got to understand a good chunk of your politicians in your country are actually in the pocket of pharmaceutical industries and many egg, dairy, and wheat industries. So even, you might say, Adam, isn't there laws against that? Like, obviously they can't release viruses into the public. Wouldn't that be like billions of dollars of like lawsuits and stuff? And the answer is yes. It absolutely would be billions of dollars of lawsuits, but who's suing them? It's something that we should look into a little bit. I'm not saying I don't have proof right now. I will have proof in the future. But right now, I haven't looked into that. All I have is proof that Glucose Goddess is using studies funded by pharmaceutical companies. So it's like, how do we even, like, oh my God. This is the whole problem with health science, is that health science is expensive. And the entire paradigm of health science is twisted and biased towards profit incentive because studies are expensive and someone has to make money on shaping the paradigm. It's paradigm warfare. This is what's going on out there. You need to understand this. Very important. The health field is paradigm warfare. There is billions and billions and billions of dollars on the line. Lots of money, lots of power on the line goes into making sure that the public is confused about how to actually be healthy. That's why there's people like Glucose Goddess that just come out of nowhere, funded clearly, with these extremely high quality, like these extremely high quality videos that appeal to the masses.
So
that are
this sugar
well made, explaining how look. She literally says there's a quote where she says the molecules in a chocolate cake are the same as the sugar molecules.
The one point in time, but I had the opportunity to little and see over time and create prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. And there's other symptoms as well that they create.
And by the way, diabetes is not created by insulin spikes. Insulin spikes is a symptom of diabetes. Diabetes is actually caused by fatty liver and toxins and overburdened liver. You can learn more about that from medical medium information. And you want to heal diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes. Sorry, I'm going to lower my desktop audio. Thank you very much. I'm a very noob streamer, so we're just, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you. Thanks for staying for so long. We've been around for almost an hour. I appreciate your support. Thanks for holding space. Yeah, so there's a clip here where she's saying something like, I don't have the actual clip. It's in one of these videos here. But just all of this is wrong. So everything is backwards info that is actually designed to make human beings not healthy, make them sick, to convince them with some science, right? The most complicated thing ever. Extremely complicated, like stuff that no one could ever understand, like even if they tried. Like no one actually reads these, bro. Okay, maybe I'll read more science papers, like, okay, but the reason why I don't read too many science papers is because it's so much convolution, it's very convoluted for no results at the end. There's nothing that actually works at the end. That's why when you go to your doctor and you have a chronic illness, he doesn't give you anything that works. He gives you a pill, right? Whereas if I read something like medical medium information, it is pretty advanced. It is not the easiest read in the world, but at least it's designed for a human being to understand. So no, we don't need people like Glucose Goddess to translate science to us. We shouldn't require a middle person to translate the science, because the science is literally in an alien language that the common person like you and me, we can't understand what's even being studied and why it's being studied. And the whole paradigm is what I'm trying to say. The entire paradigm is business. It's business interest. Sorry, I need to check my chat here. I got to, how do I do this? Thank you. Yeah, the sound of the video is too loud. Yeah,
like cravings, fatigue, being hungry all the time. They can create hormonal issues in your body. They can impact your sleep and so much more. I often hear in my work people saying, oh, why do you even look at these glucose spikes if you don't have
Yeah, if you're able to read energy,
diabetes, you should not worry. Well, this scientific study proved us exactly the opposite. That even if you don't have diabetes, you can still be suffering the consequences of these big glucose spikes. And they can be, you have a peptide overwhelm. So even
no, it's not. Your mitochondria is not stressed by eating freaking fruits and vegetables. Okay. Your mitochondria is not stressed by eating fruits and vegetables. I'm sorry. Here, hello? Mic volume. Is mic volume too low? Video's like 300% louder. Headphone volume. Oh yeah, my mic volume. Thank you. Here we go. Ready? How's that? Much better, right? Thank you. Yeah, first time live streaming this way, guys. I just, yeah. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so this was my first live stream that I'm done doing, sharing my screen like this. I want to do more of this. She's saying when you eat arugula salad before your spaghetti, it helps to manage your glucose. Yeah, because arugula salad's really good for you and your body needs it. Yeah, maybe you're supposed to have arugula salad in general. Maybe arugula salad just like fixes your insulin spikes. Why even have the spaghetti after? Why not just have the arugula salad with some maple syrup on it, with some lemon juice and some apples and stuff? Why would you even consider the spaghetti? Like, why is the only thing that we're... Anyways, I'm sick of talking about this particular person, but it's a good example that what I'm trying to demonstrate is that the mainstream scientific paradigm of health that is promoting high fat, they're always basing it in science. They're always trying to tell you, I have science. Look at my science. This science right here, this study, the research paper, do your blood tests. It's science. But science has actually not been curing anyone's chronic illnesses for the last 3-4 decades. Science hasn't been curing my eczema or my allergies or people's brain fog or digestional issues or any of this. What has been curing this stuff is medical medium information that is channeled from spirit, which is I know, a little bit odd, and requires a bit of a new paradigm in order to even buy into that premise. But that, regardless of if you buy into the premise or not, that doesn't change the fact that the info itself is extremely high quality and actually has already cured chronic illness. So if you're suffering from menopause symptoms, wrinkles, brain fog, so you see what's happening. She's banking off of everyone's sickness. You're not supposed to have cravings, hormonal fertility issues, skin conditions, wrinkles, poor sleep, menopause symptoms, heart disease, Alzheimer's, fatty liver, and cancer. You're not supposed to have this. You're supposed to be healthy. Okay? You don't need to have these diseases. They've already been solved a long time ago, like literally decades ago, by medical medium information. You look into it, buy a book, his book. He has the free PDF on his website. You go on his podcasts. You don't even need his book. You can go on his website, Google your condition that you're struggling with, go to medical medium, implement his protocol that I've made multiple videos about how to implement. And that's what actually causes these issues. It's not hiding. Okay, the medical medium information isn't hiding, but something that's hiding it is pharmaceutical profit incentive. Meat, egg, dairy industry profit incentive is performing paradigm warfare to muddy the waters of the health field, spam publishing articles that when you this is what I want you to do. When you find a mainstream science article, go right to the sources, find the funding, who funded it, who made the study happen. Okay, you'll be surprised. A lot of times it's funded by corporate interest, and it's disgusting, frankly. And there's people who genuinely suffer, people that I know that are close to me, that genuinely suffer from these illnesses, and God forbid they didn't have me in their life. They might discover someone like the glucose goddess, and they might be convinced. And look, this is like live streamception. Can I watch my own live stream? No way. Sorry, guys. I know I'm a heartfelt message, but I'm watching my own live stream, guys. Have you ever seen this before?
They might discover someone
Holy
like
shit,
the glucose
he's smart.
goddess.
This guy's a genius.
Be convinced. And look, this is like live stream.
Okay. So, what I was saying was that one of your loved ones, you could be suffering from one of these chronic health conditions, genuinely suffering, like fatty liver, gaining tons of weight, whatever you do, you can't stop it, cancer, a lot of these issues, skin problems. You could be suffering from this, and then you could find a million view video. It's got hundreds of thousands of views. Look, it's so
Though
well
your
made.
mitochondria
She's a scientist. She's using science. And she's saying all I have to do is manage my glucose spikes. So it's pretty easy to understand the concept. And all you got to do is you got to drink vinegar. You got to eat eggs and cheese for breakfast, and then you'll be healthy. And it's like, okay, look, the glucose hacks, the PDF. Here, I'll this is like, this is a big problem. The problem is the masses will find this information because it's being pushed, and they'll think, okay, so the science that's funded by AstraZeneca, the science is telling me that I need to eat eggs and cheese for breakfast. And if I want to have fruit, I need to be anxious and scared about it, because then my glucose is going to spike. So I need to drink vinegar before I eat my fruit. But because the vinegar manages the glucose spikes, because the vinegar literally dehydrates your organs so badly that you can't even absorb the sugar. So it's like, if I was an evil demon and I wanted to make humanity unhealthy as quickly as possible, what I would do is I'd convince, this is my honest plan, I would fund a scientist like this and put in $1 million. Amazing website, so pretty, nicely branded. I'm jealous. My website's literally from the garbage can. This is like the nicest website I've ever seen. Super. Look, it scrolls slowly. Oh my gosh, she must have good information. Only $4.99 per month, and she'll teach me how to make eggs and bacon for breakfast, because that's what's good for me. And oh look, there's arugula on the side. By the way, guys, if you're eating this much arugula, you beside whatever this is, looks like a cauliflower, yummy. That's actually pretty healthy, as long as there's no cheese on here. There's a bit of nuts in there, okay, but if you're actually having arugula and cauliflower, that's actually a pretty healthy meal. But then all of her other meals, unfortunately, are garbage. Now, no more sugar cravings. Never would I ever survive a day without chocolate. Yeah. By the way, if you have eczema, which I've struggled with really bad eczema, just to show you these insincere, these fucking weird ass testimonials. I have eczema and I've had it my whole life. If you have eczema and histamine intolerance, which is, I think I have that as well. It's like allergies. Well, red rashes on your face and body. I've had that. I could see a large improvement in them even in the first week. I'm just telling you, as someone who actually has eczema and has literally tried everything, like all different diets, that never, ever, ever, ever happens. You will never, ever see improvements in your eczema in 1 week. That does not happen. I'm just saying that's too short of a time span for eczema to go away. By the way, people who have eczema, that it comes in waves. It comes up and down, up and down, up and down. Some weeks it's terrible, other weeks it's not that bad. So this person, obviously, they started eating eggs and cheese for breakfast, which would literally ruin your eczema, really like make it worse, like add fuel to the fire. Maybe their eczema just went down a bit, but it's going to come back, because here's the thing with eczema is medical mediums explaining that it's caused by toxic copper in the liver, okay? And the Epstein-Barr is feeding off of it and releasing a dermatoxin, okay? This is very important. So if you want to actually cure eczema, you need to get the copper out of the liver. You can't do that by eating eggs and cheese for breakfast. You need to have celery juice and a heavy metal detox smoothie with wild blueberries, cilantro, spirulina, barley grass juice powder, and Atlantic sea dulse. These foods, they bind to the metals and they flush it out of the system. Also, foods like apples as well can be very good for eczema because they help to support the liver. And low fats in general, because we need the liver to cleanse. We're trying to get the metal and the viruses out. In order to get metal and viruses out, you need to keep the fats down, because fat thickens the blood and it clogs the liver. The liver needs to produce bile to digest it. And many fats, specifically dairy and eggs and pork, pork is a little different, but eggs and dairy can and do feed viruses like Epstein-Barr, herpes, and that will actually exacerbate the issue, making them stronger, making your eczema and other chronic health issues like vitiligo, like thyroid problems, all kinds of autoimmune, etc. That's what causes it. So you got to get the gunk out of your insides. The way you do that is with the God-given fruits and vegetables. You don't need cheese to get metals out of your liver. Okay? See, even when I'm saying it, it makes sense. I don't need science to explain to you that you don't eat cheese to get metals out of your liver. It's because it's so fatty, it clogs the liver. Now, there's extreme detail about this with science that's from the medical medium books that he explains on the organ level what actually happens with the dairy, how the dairy molecules actually can prevent the uptake of certain nutrients and stuff in your body. So there's a lot of detail there you can read about in the medical medium books for yourself. But the reason why I share this information is because the high-fat diet is a trend, has been a trend for decades, and it always comes up in waves. And this is what Medical Medium has been talking about on his podcast. You can go look at the truth about the ketogenic diet. Go look at the truth about the ketogenic diet. It comes in waves, and it's just some high-fat diet, low-sugar diet. It's always reskinned. It's re-released. They have to add in a little bit of berries, a little bit of green apples here and there, a little bit of raw honey, because people crave sugar. Because the problem is the corporate interest can't get rid of fat. This is the whole problem, is that if you want people to be healthy, you could just tell them to eat less fats and eat more fruits and vegetables. But the problem is the medical industry profits off of people being sick, and the meat, dairy, and egg industry, who have billions of dollars to invest in science funding, profits off people eating protein. Protein, high-fat protein. That's why everyone's convinced about protein. This is the whole thing I'm trying to explain. In general, the protein foods like meat, dairy, eggs, this is shaped in the collective mind space. This is like, I saw a truck driving by the other day, my house. There was a little kid on it drinking milk. I think I actually have the picture. I was walking the other day outside, and there was a little kid drinking milk. Why do kids need to drink milk? Why would that ever even be a thing? Check it out. I don't know if you can see there. See the little kid, he's got the milk. He's drinking milk. That's propaganda, guys. Milk is not good for kids. It comes from a fucking cow. Okay? Why would we be drinking that every day? Doesn't make sense. Why would we drink cow milk every single day? Now, in the past, thousands of years ago, or, in the mountains of Switzerland, of course, certain milks and cheeses are survival foods. So, of course, if you're a shepherd and you're herding goats, you can get their milk, and then you can process it in a way so that it stores pretty well. Cheese stores pretty well. And you can survive off of it. And it's the same is true with eggs. And certain meat and stuff. So I'm not saying humans haven't survived off of these foods in the past. I'm not saying it's impossible for a human being to digest milk. It is possible. But the problem is that in today's day and age, there are viruses that feed off of milk. There's viruses that feed off of eggs that may not have been prevalent 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago when we were herding goats in the mountains. If you had the choice between eating a whole bunch of apples and bananas versus drinking the milk of a goat, what would you do? If you had that choice, you could eat a bunch of leafy greens, some cooked potatoes, maybe some lentils, some oats. You could have a bunch of apples, bananas, this kind of stuff. You could have that. Would you drink the milk of a goat when those foods are available? No, you wouldn't. That doesn't make sense. There's no but the reason why we do it today is because we think, well, I need my protein. So this mind virus of I need my protein is what gets human beings to eat milk and eggs and meat when they wouldn't normally. See? If you're not thinking to yourself, I need my protein, then there's no reason for you to go out of your way to have goat milk or to have milk or cow milk. Because if fruits and veggies are available, which they are, and they are good for you, they have protein in them, they're extremely good for you if you just eat more than them, more of it. If you just eat more fruits and veggies, you get full, right? So you don't need meat. I'm not saying you can't eat meat. Medical Medium does say you can cleanse with some organic chicken and some grass-fed beef in your diet and some wild-caught salmon and other fish that are low in metals. So there are certain meats that Medical Medium says you can eat. So it's not about anti-meat or anti-this. I'm just saying there's certain foods like this. I'm talking about the general paradigm, the mind virus of protein is massive profit incentive for meat, egg, dairy industries and pharmaceutical industries that know that human beings get sick when all they eat is eggs and cheese for breakfast instead of oranges and figs and fruits and wild blueberries. There's a literal active suppressing force against fruit. There's many sources trying to tell you fruit is not good for you. High glycemic fruits are not good for you. There's too much sugar. Sugar from fruits is not good for you. This doesn't even make sense on a common sense level. As a common sense human being, I know fruits are good for me. You don't have to convince me that a fucking melon is not good for me. But that's what science is doing for you. Because science is not actually science. It's business interest. I'm not saying science is bad. I like science. I study science. I got science books behind me. I'm interested in the philosophy of science. I love science. I like the truth. I like knowing how real life works. I'm not anti-science. I don't do rain dances in my backyard and human sacrifices and stuff. I don't pray to Allah, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like, I understand the allure of science, and I love it, and I study it, and I like it. The problem is, right now, health science wants you to be sick. So don't trust certified nutritionists and even many certified medical professionals. And I know I'm not supposed to say this legally. I'm not supposed to say this. I'm going to get in trouble by saying not to trust nutritionists and doctors and this kind of stuff. Of course, your doctor's a good person, and I think you should work alongside him with medical medium information. Read the medical medium information yourself, become acquainted with it, understand it, then bring it to your doctor. Say, hey, this is what I'm learning. Can you help me implement this, please? Okay, so consult with your medical healthcare professional. I'm not saying not to trust them. I'm not saying that they're bad people. I know your doctor's an angel and he's a good person. I know that. But what I'm not making personal attacks here. I'm talking about the general paradigm of modern science in the current year is heavily influenced by business interest in the health field that shapes the public perception of what should be eaten. So this idea that in order to be healthy, I need to eat eggs and bacon for breakfast, I spoke about in other videos that was actually that was a business interest. In the 1950s, sales of eggs and sausages were low, and they needed to come up with some way to sell more of them, so they actually invented breakfast. They invented a meal in the beginning of the day where you just eat a bunch of eggs and bacon, and they put it on TV and stuff, and they had doctors that they paid on the TV saying that eating a savory breakfast, a high calorie breakfast is the way to go. And they mass marketed this, and then That's how eggs and bacon basically got invented in the morning. The sales went way up, and they did a good job because of the massive marketing campaign that wasn't actually interested in the public health. It was just interested in selling more of eggs and bacon. All right, guys, I'm going to have a quick pee break, and then I'm going to end off the stream, but I still have some really important points I want to make. I'm just going to take a quick 30-second pee break, all right? Be back. All right. So the last thing I wanted to say is that all high-fat diets are not healthy for you, okay? They will not cure and heal your chronic illness. All people who say that they've healed their chronic illnesses with a high-fat diet are because they've just come off of croissants and donuts and cake and Coca-Cola and lollipops, and they've been eating a bunch of that, and then when they go to keto, they're eating more whole foods, so that's why their symptoms improve. But if you want to genuinely be healthy, you need to understand that science is not going to tell you to eat pure, clean, healthy fruits and vegetables. Like the medical medium's telling you. They're not going to ever tell you that, because they can't tell you that, because they're married to the high-fat, high-protein foods. They can't get rid of them. It's deep in the structure of science, in the bureaucracy of it. There's corporate interest in the lawmaking process of your country. That's how deep it is. Do you need to understand? There's politicians in the Senate that are funded by pharmaceutical and meat and dairy and egg industries. They can't even pass laws that would allow the study of, let's say, celery juice, or like basically there's certain corporate influence that is present in modern day science, and there's laws that are passed that allow the influence to increase, not to decrease. Because the idea, if we're trying to eliminate corruption in our science and in our modern health paradigm, so that it's more aligned with the truth and less aligned with someone else's pockets in their wallet, we want our health info to be aligned with public health, not with private corporate interest. But what I'm trying to say is that right now it's not. It's just not. And that's why when you're looking at these scientific studies and everyone's, slapping their degrees across each other's faces. No, I'm certified. No, you're certified. No, he's not certified. So how do you know he's not a doctor? But I'm saying the people who are certified, their curriculum is funded by pharmaceutical companies. And all the science and studies, the whole paradigm has been shaped by private interest. So this whole war of like who's qualified, who's not qualified, whose studies, which studies, are your studies showing this, are these studies showing this? I can't even read your studies because they're so complicated. All of this, it's a game that's distracting from the original point that the whole time, for millions of years, fruits and vegetables have just been good for you. They've just been good for you the whole time. They're because they grow to the ground, and we've been eating them since before we had tails. We're monkeys. We got the, you know, the frugivorous teeth and the colons. And I'm not saying to be a frugivore. We also eat leaves. We also eat artichokes and carrots and potatoes and this kind of stuff. We've been eating this. Your ancestors have been eating this. This is another problem, is that we're disconnected from our ancestors. Like, my ancestors are Italian. Their house is a garden. Do you understand? They live on a literal hill in southern Italy. They live on a hill, and they have fig trees, beans, tomatoes, I said figs, apples, pears, spinach, finocchio, which is fennel, herbs of all kinds, rosemary, basil, parsley. It's growing on their land. Do you understand? They're growing it. Okay? Yeah, sure, the odd time, yeah, they do have cured meats. They have salted pork and this kind of stuff, which isn't ideal. Yeah, I'm sure they have eggs sometimes. But the diet is predicated on these fresh fruits and vegetables because they grow for you. They're easy. They're easy to maintain. All right. Now, the problem is that in our modern climate, with all the viruses running around, like, you know, the C word and the flus and Epstein-Barr's and herpes, these, unfortunately, they've been raised on, in the labs, eggs. So when they're in your body, they feed on eggs. So it's just, you know, I know you like eggs, but the problem is, you know, they've been ruined for us. We can't eat eggs because they feed viruses that make you sick, which is unfortunate. Same with dairy. Okay? So I'm not questioning if our ancestors ever ate these foods ever. Of course they did, for survival reasons. Our ancestors were freaking starving and they needed calories to get from wherever they can to survive. But in today's society, our culture, you can get fruits and vegetables. They're not like, I've been doing money tests. It's not that much more expensive to eat mostly fruits and vegetables than it is to eat whatever eggs and steak and nuts and all this. It's a similar price. So don't make it a monetary thing. It's not because you can't afford bananas. I've been getting reduced bananas at the store. You can get this apple. I got 5 of them for $2. You know, so it's like one meal for me for the day. 5 apples. It's $2 a meal. That's not bad. You know, if we're talking about eating healthy. It's not a money thing. But what it is a money thing for is it's a money thing for the businesses who actually need you to buy their meat and to buy their eggs and to keep staying sick, so that you go to the doctor and you have problems like toe fungus, or like toe fungus, for example. I told the story many times. I had toe fungus when I was eating a lot of eggs and a lot of eating out, a lot of canola oils and dairies and this kind of stuff. This was a couple years ago. I got a toe fungus. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed me this medication. It's like a paint. It's like you paint it onto your nail, and allegedly within 1 month it goes away. And I wasn't covered by my insurance, so it cost me $120 for this little vial of toe fungus. A lot of people have toe fungus. A lot of people have toe fungus. It's actually a symptom of fungus inside your body. It's not an external fungus. It's an internal fungus, actually. So medical medium told me after I bought the thing, I didn't use it. You know, I used it a bit. It didn't really work that much. I could have used it a bit longer, granted, but still, it's $120. You know, so. Medical medium told me that if I eat a lot of sage, a lot of herbs, especially sage specifically, so I went to the store and I bought a sage plant. I planted it in a pot in my garden, and it's still growing. It's like almost November. It's just tons of sage. It grows like a weed, right? This thing grows. It's amazing. I'm eating sage leaves, at least 5-10 of them a day in my salad. My toe fungus is gone. Because I healed it from the inside out. And there's other herbs like fresh oregano, like rosemary, as well, like thyme as well. These 4 herbs, when you combine them together, they're weeds. They grow to the freaking floor easily. When you combine them together, they have complementary qualities that are antifungal, and they can kill and clean viruses out of your blood, and freaking so good for you. And what I'm trying to say is our ancestors have been eating them for thousands of years. They grow everywhere. They grow to the floor, and they heal your toe fungus and all sorts of other, chronic illnesses like ringworm and not, sorry, it's not a chronic illness, but certain funguses and stuff you can heal by eating a bunch of sage. But the problem is that if everyone knew that, who's losing $120 per bottle worth of sales off of the probably tens of hundreds of millions of people who have toe fungus? There's commercials on TV promoting, hey, if you have toe fungus, go to your doctor. He's gonna, you need help. And then your doctor's gonna prescribe you this thing. It's $120. It's gonna bill your insurance, or it's gonna bill you, like in my case, and you're gonna be paying for this thing, which is a vial of medicine for something that the plants already solved, and they grow in the garden like a weed. You don't have to water them. They just grow like too much, actually. You gotta like contain them because of how abundant they are. Medicine is abundant on planet Earth, and that's my whole point that I'm trying to make here, is that we have abundant medicine on this planet, and there's no lack of it. It grows out of the earth. There's enough for everyone, more than enough. The limiting factor, the bottleneck, and the pharmaceutical companies know this, is information. If you keep the people in the dark, if you spam low quality articles onto Google, these websites are literally created, you could like, every week there's a new medical website that's created posting articles about how you need more animal protein, how you should mix your pears with your feta cheese in order to have a healthy diet. And then you go to the donors, and there's like 10 different donors, and they're all private interests of pharmaceuticals and eggs and dairy companies and all this stuff. I've made other videos about this, why nutrition info is full of shit. The information is the bottleneck. That's all it is. There's no marketing dollars behind Adam Michelli spreading medical medium information, There's no marketing dollars behind fruits and vegetables because they're a commodity. There's no private business that has monopolized artichokes. Artichokes grow anywhere. You just get the seed and you plant it. There it is. You got some artichokes. So what I'm saying is the information won't be available to you from when you're young, when you're a kid. No one's going to teach you that. For example, something that Medical Medium teaches you, if we maybe go to his section here, we can find artichokes. Look, he gives you a recipe. Ooh, that looks good. Steamed artichokes with lemon honey dipping sauce. I've actually had this before. It is freaking amazing, and it's really easy to make too. You just buy the artichokes and steam them. Cut off the ends and steam them. No one told me that with all the... I'm just going to read from Medical Medium. With all the superfood talk we have today, artichokes should be right there in the top 10 list. Artichokes are one of the most abundant sources of nutrition, filled with phytochemicals such as lutein and isothiocyanates, vitamins such as A, E, and K, amino acids and enzymes. They are B12 enhancing stars, wonderful for bringing balance to the gut. Artichokes are also dense with minerals such as silica, which is one of the foundational minerals of our bodies that's critical for our existence. So instead of taking silica pills that someone can package and sell and make money off of, why is no one telling you to eat artichokes? Because no one can package and sell it. They grow out of the ground. It's a commodity. That's what I'm trying to say. Artichokes' magnesium content gets attention, and rightfully so. There's a bigger picture to what gives artichokes their sedative qualities, though. In addition to magnesium, artichokes contain sedation phytochemicals that calm all body systems, as well as a compilation of calming minerals. This is the info right from Spirit, by the way. This mineral denseness corresponds with the dense organs and glands, such as the liver, spleen, pancreas, and brain, adrenals, and thyroid, that artichokes nourish. Deep within these organs, we have foundational nutrient reserves, and artichokes are one of those foods that replenish our reserves to promote longevity. So check it out, guys. If you want information about these foods, instead of going to this girl who's paid off by pharmaceutical companies, or even if she's not, the studies she cites is paid off by pharmaceutical companies, you can go to Artichokes Medical Medium, and then he has multiple articles about it, and he has a free recipe about it. So people will say like, oh, Medical Medium, he's just trying to make money off of, he's just scamming you, telling you that he's a channeler. Well, then why is all the information I just read from the book available for free on the website? And why is the recipe that was in the book already here for free on the website? And why does he have all of his recipes for free on his website that you may notice is ad-free? There's no ads on this website. The only ad is his own event. That's a free event that he's actually promoting someone else's cafe who's just happens to be making Medical Medium food. So notice there's no ads on this website, and there's actually he actually doesn't make money. The only way he makes money is by selling the books. And what I'm trying to say is the books are just a convenient way to package the info. But the info is also on the website already. He has podcasts about all of every illness. So like if, Glucose Goddess is saying, this is funded by AstraZeneca, tells you that all you have to do is eat eggs and cheese for breakfast and then take this pill before you eat your cake, and then you'll be healthy. And oh, by the way, if you want my pill, it's going to cost you, we got to go to science here. And then, wait, sorry. I was too distracted by science. We have to go to about. We have to go to our science, and then her science is just, a pill. And then the pill is, I don't even know why I'm back here, but I'm trying to tell you, eat your croissants, right, before you take your pill. Oh yeah, I was back here because it's $80 a month, $81 a month for this pill. You already know that's overpriced. For what? It's literally, selling a pill is like the best way to make money. It's such low manufacturing costs, such high. The only thing is it's an information war. You need to convince the people that this is what they need. But we're lucky because medicalmedium.com, which I'm gonna go here just so you guys see, has recipes. Go click on recipes. There's recipes by all recipes. All right, all recipes. And we got literally all of the recipes, guys. These are all so good. My girlfriend spends like at least an hour a day browsing these recipes because she's amazing, and she makes me these. And I love you, babe, if you're watching this. There's 12 pages of free recipes, guys. 12 pages. Over here, Glucose Goddess is charging you $5 a month to tell you how to make eggs and cheese. But he's got, look, it's all free. Look, you want kombucha squash soup? Here it is. Hey, look, it's going to tell you why it's good for you. Spirit is going to tell you why it's good for you. They're going to tell you specifically what garlic does, how it what the hell? What? The medicinal, pungent, astringent quality of garlic is a pathogen's worst nightmare. Phytochemical compounds from garlic seep through the walls of the intestinal tract into blood vessels that lead through the hepatic portal vein into the liver. The liver's immune system welcomes these compounds because it knows they're like a relief army coming in, so the immune system can find reprieve and retreat to build up its forces. That's pretty good to know. Okay, so how am I going to make my kombucha squash soup with no dairy, no eggs, no meat, because there's no business interest? And actually, this website wants you to be healthy. They actually don't want you to be sick. There's no funding. This is the weird problem we're in, because normally you would think that in order to be healthy, you need to have science. You need to cite science. But what I'm saying is that the current paradigmatic weather system that we're in, the overall paradigm of health science in today's day and age is so corrupt by business interest that in a weird way you're actually more aligned with the truth by not trusting conventional mainstream science. In a weird way, a weird kind of like ironic twist, the most accurate source you can get is a guy who has a gift that is channeling or speaking with the spirit of compassion, that has a track record of the last over 5 decades of literally working with clients and healing and reversing their chronic illness for decades. This man is like a saint, almost like Saint Padre Pio or Edgar Cayce as well. He has a gift, and he's giving you all the health information you need. No one's studying. There's no scientific studies right now looking into how garlic has phytochemical compounds that seep through the walls of the intestinal tract into blood vessels that lead up through the hepatic portal vein into the liver. No one's studying that. No one's looking into that right now. Okay? There's no scientific studies where they're putting cameras into people's hepatic portal vein to see if the phytochemical compounds of the garlic actually do seep through the walls of the intestinal tract into the blood vessels. No one's studying that right now. So you might say, well, Adam, but medical medium, it's like it's not scientific. And I say, yeah, good. That's a good thing in today's day and age when it comes to our modern science. Now the problem is, Adam, but then how do we know who to trust? This guy you're claiming here just has a monopoly on the truth? And I'm saying, no, this guy is channeling the spirit of compassion that gives extremely high quality information that you may want to consider, at least. At least consider it. You might want to read a medical medium book from beginning to end and just keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your mind. To think, oh, well, this guy knows the actual literal root cause of cancer and of many other hundreds of chronic illnesses that science is totally in the dark about, and is actually prescribing billions of dollars worth of pills to fight the symptoms. But the root cause is being suppressed and denied for decades. There's a lot of money to be made off of ignorant people being sick. And you know what? I don't fuck with that, honestly. I don't think that's very cool. I think that humans have the right to know what fruits and vegetables do for them. And herbs. And wild foods and teas. Like I'm drinking some nettle leaf tea with raw honey. And if you want to have your mind blown about honey, go listen to the Medical Medium Honey podcast. All right. Are we still live here? Yes, we are. Go listen to the Medical Medium Honey podcast right now. It's 90 minutes long, and he tells you, I don't have tea bags, guys. I put all my tea leaves at the bottom of the glass. It gets on my tongue and stuff when I eat it. Yeah, I don't think it's very cool that we don't have scientific information promoting, or we don't at least have people promoting how good garlic is for you. And I think it's your birthright to know what fruits and vegetables do for you. Specifically, not guessing, not saying vague things like, oh, it has vitamin K. Like, okay, thanks, but does The phytochemical compounds seep through the walls of the intestinal tract into blood vessels that lead through the hepatic portal vein into the liver. And then the liver's immune system welcomes these compounds because they're like a relief army coming in, so the immune system can find reprieve and retreat to build up its forces. Is anyone else telling you that? Science telling you that right now? No, actually, science right now is telling you to eat eggs and cheese for breakfast, and to take this this pill here, so that you can deal with your insulin spikes, so that when you have your croissants, your insulin doesn't spike, because apparently that's important. Meanwhile, Medical Medium has been explaining for decades that what causes insulin spikes is an unhealthy liver. The liver is full of toxins and fat. The liver needs to be cleansed. Then the glucose balances itself. Stop eating sugar. Stop eating croissants and cake and ribs with marmalade sauce on it. That's what causes your insulin spikes. So the rise of the pharmaceutical companies is not only the pharmaceutical companies' fault, but it's also the people's fault as well, for being so lazy and quick fix oriented, magic pill oriented. Our whole culture, people are lazy and magic pill oriented. They want a magic pill so that they can eat, croissants and still be healthy. So when you're magic pill oriented in life, this is what exploits your look. This is what exploits your weakness. You're not willing to read 1,000 pages of information, that the premise of the information, that it's channeled from spirit, might take you 10 years of study. Like, I've been reading literally thousands of books, not thousands of books, hundreds of books, to even be able to have the right paradigm, to even be able to have a place in my web of knowledge to even plug medical medium information into, to be able to trust it, to understand it. That, yeah, channeling, spiritual powers, this kind of stuff, it's a real thing. It's been existing for thousands of years. You have spiritual powers, but you just haven't been developing them. You could have them if you want. But do you believe that? Or do you think I'm wrong? Where's your evidence if I'm wrong? Did you read all the books that... Anyways, releasing my book list soon, guys. It's going to be free. If you want some coaching with me, I'm working with people who want some help with their life purpose, getting clear about who they are, what they want to do with their life, with their energy. I talk a lot about meditation. I talk a lot about focusing your mind towards a higher vision of what's going to positively impact the world and others, based on what you're passionate about, what excites you. So just following that. This is how I was able to create this live stream and so many of my videos. So if you're interested in that, you can send me an email. I believe my email is on my website. So just send me an email. Say, hey, Adam, you were talking about coaching. Can you let me know about that? Just letting you know. It's a long-term package. I only work with people who are in it for the long term, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's new subjects that I talk about every week with my private coaching group, and it's something that I can't deliver to you in one session. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to evolve you up the stages of human development. It's not easy, but it is really fun. I like to have fun, and I have a blast, and my clients are amazing. So if you want to be part of that group, then you can send me an email, and we'll talk about it. And otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. I know this one was a little crazy. I'll see you in the next live streams, okay? Thanks for joining. Bye. Don't eat cheese and eggs for to heal your chronic illnesses, please. Regardless of what science says, I'll personally fucking go scream at your doctor. Okay, I'm not allowed to say